The cabin of Flight 827 from Seattle to Miami was a cocoon of luxury, all polished wood and buttery leather, but the air crackled with tension. A sharp slap echoed through first class, silencing every passenger. Clara, the flight attendant with a crisp navy uniform and a smile that never quite reached her eyes, stood frozen, her hands still trembling from the strike. Across from her, Dr. Samuel Carter, 67, sat motionless in seat 2A, his tailored navy suit pristine, his face betraying no emotion as a red mark bloomed on his cheek. What Clara didn't know, what no one in that cabin could have guessed, was that Samuel held sway over $4.1 billion in aviation credit across 5 major airlines. One slap, and the entire industry was about to feel the aftershock. It was March 15, 2026, and Samuel had boarded at Seattle Tacoma International with the quiet dignity of a man who'd seen it all. No entourage, just a worn leather briefcase and a printed boarding pass he preferred over digital check-ins. The gate agent, a young woman with a skeptical squint, had hesitated when he approached the priority lane. "Sir, this is for first class only," she said, her tone clipped. Samuel handed over his ticket without a flicker of annoyance. "That's me, 2A. She scanned it, muttered an apology, and waved him through. He was used to with double takes, the subtle assumptions. After decades as the only black man in boardrooms filled with starched suits, he read microaggressions like a second language. In the cabin, Samuel settled into his seat, stowing his briefcase carefully beneath it. He pulled out a small, leather-bound notebook, jotting a quick entry. Flight 827. SEA to MIA, 2A. Cabin feels tense. Let's see how this goes. It wasn't cynicism, just preparation. He'd learned not to expect warmth, but hope lingered quietly. As the plane climbed to 39,000 feet, the cabin settled into a hum of clinking glasses and soft chatter. Clara moved through first class, her tray of champagne, flutes gleaming. She offered smiles and pleasantries to every passenger except Samuel. She skipped his seat without a glance. The man across the aisle, a silver-haired lawyer named Tom, raised an eyebrow but said nothing. Samuel noted it in his book, Skipped Beverage Service. Intentional. When Clara returned with hot towels, she handed them out with care, her voice warm for others. For Samuel, she tossed the towel onto his armrest, letting it slide half off. He caught it, folded it neatly, and placed it on his lap. Tom leaned over, voice low. "Did she just forget to speak to you?" Samuel's lips curved slightly. "She didn't forget." He wrote again, towel delivery dismissive. Tone absent. The pattern was clear. Clara had sized him up the moment he boarded his skin, not his seat number, had set her judgment. The turbulence hit hard, the plane shuddering as the captain's voice crackled. All passengers and crew remained seated and buckled. Samuel, already secured, reached to close his laptop on the tray table. Clara appeared suddenly, her voice sharp. "Sir, I told you to stow that laptop." "Not on the tray." Samuel met her gaze, calm as ever. With the plane shaking and the seatbelt sign on, reaching the overhead bin seems unsafe. Her eyes narrowed. "You don't get to choose which rules apply. This isn't your personal jet." The cabin grew quiet, passengers stealing glances. Samuel's voice stayed steady. "What exactly are you implying?" Clara leaned closer, her words venomous. "You know what this is. Entitlement. You think you're above everyone." Then it happened. Her hand shot out, the slap landing with a crack that froze the cabin. Gasps rippled through first class. Samuel's head tilted slightly from the force, but he didn't flinch. He reached for his napkin, dabbed his cheek, and asked softly, "Are you done, ma'am?" Clara stood rigid, her breath uneven, hands still raised like she couldn't believe it herself. Samuel lifted his wrist, tapping his sleek black Omega LT3 taps. A pause, 2 more. To the untrained eye, it was nothing. To the system it triggered, it was everything. A custom-built transmitter, known only to a select few aviation executives, activated Watchdoga's silent protocol linking to the FAA, Horizon Capital's compliance desk, and Samuel's private counsel. Within seconds, a $1.2 billion credit freeze was initiated across 4 airlines. The cabin buzzed with whispers. "She hit him," a woman in row 3 muttered. Tom leaned over. "You okay? Want me to report this?" Samuel shook his head. "It's already in motion." 12 minutes later, The captain's voice returned, tense. Ladies and gentlemen, we're diverting to Phoenix Sky Harbor due to an onboard issue. ETA, 30 minutes. Passengers exchanged looks. Clara, now pale, moved stiffly through the aisle, avoiding Samuel's gaze. The murmurs grew. She slapped him, and now we're landing. Samuel wrote in his notebook, action locked. Escalating. The plane touched down in Phoenix with a jolt. The captain spoke again. Please remain seated. Authorities will board shortly. 2 officers and an FAA official stepped aboard, followed by a man in a sharp suit. Victor Hayes, Horizon Capital's compliance chief. Clara tried to greet them, but Victor's eyes locked on Samuel. Dr. Carter, we're here for you. Clara froze, realization dawning. She hadn't slapped just any honest struck Dr. Samuel Carter, a name that sent shivers through airline boardrooms. The officers approached her. Ma'am, we need to speak with you. Clara's confidence crumbled as she followed them, her steps heavy. In a private terminal room, Samuel handed over his notebook, every incident time-stamped. The FAA official scanned it, nodding. You didn't raise your voice once. Samuel replied, I didn't need to. Systems move when the evidence is clear. Within hours, headlines erupted. FAA halts Aerostar routes after assault on Billionaire passenger. Aerostar's stock plummeted 16%. A leaked video from row 3 spread online, showing Clara's slap and Samuel's calm response. Social media exploded. He didn't fight back. He just brought an airline down. 2 days later, Samuel stood at a press conference. No notes, just presence. I'm Dr. Samuel Carter, ethics chair at Horizon Capital. This isn't about one incident, it's about an industry that's ignored its cracks too long. Effective today, all Horizon partners must sign the Skyfair Charter. Mandatory bias training, zero tolerance for discrimination, and real accountability. The room fell silent. A reporter asked, is this a mandate? Samuel's eyes were steel. It's the new standard. No signature, no funding. Back in his Chicago apartment, Samuel unpinned an old Air Force badge from a corkboard, its edges worn from years in military intelligence. He wrote one line in his notebook, power whispers, but it lands hard. As Aerostar's routes were suspended and Clara faced a hearing, the industry trembled. Samuel didn't gloat. He'd done this for the overlooked, the dismissed, the ones who deserved better. Now, tell us, where are you reading from? Have you ever been judged before someone knew your worth? Should Clara lose her career, or does she deserve a second chance? Was Samuel's response justice or overreach? Drop your thoughts below, like, and subscribe for more stories that shake the system. Word count, 1,990 characters.